Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is April 2nd, 2022, and I am your co-host, The Fat Wizard, joined today by...
Alamaxia.
And Lobos.
Today we're taking a look at Star Fox 64 on the N64, and this was released in North America on June 30th, 1997. So, obviously, it's the sequel... Can we call it sequel of Star Fox on the Super Nintendo? What do you think? What do you folks think?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's every time there's a Star Fox that comes out, I feel like it's just a rehashing of the previous one with a little bit more.
I'm really glad. So I hadn't played Star Fox on the Super Nintendo or on the N64. So I went way back. I wanted to get a little context, a little perspective here. So I played on all 15 frames of glorious, or frames per second of glorious Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. And then I came over and played the N64 version. I was really glad that I did that because the controls felt so much better. It's like, for the most part, the frame rate was a lot better. There was an actual... like HUD, like a cursor that you could use to shoot enemies. So I was like, wow, I could, this is really cool. And I'm really glad that I went back and did that. So, in the Lobos, this is one that you really, really wanted to check out there. So tell me what makes Star Fox 64 special for you?
Yeah, I mean, I played this game so much as a kid. I mean, still to this day, I every couple of years play through it. It's not only got a really fun, just like campaign, but also the multiplayer was huge. And I used to go over to my buddy's house. We each had 4 controllers, the rumble packs, and you just battle, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually did pick up a rumble pack and played with it. And I had to feel what it felt like, right? And I felt incredibly nerdy, strapping this big thing into my controller just to make it shake. But I'm really glad that I did because it made the game better. You know, you could feel all the times I crashed into the wall, and it's like, that's great.
It's like you can feel your boost, which is always really cool, or you feel the explosion of a big enemy.
Oh yeah.
It really just added a new immersion to really everything, and I loved how that Rumble Pack was really the precursor to everything Nintendo that Nintendo is doing now.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. That thing was like slap it into like you're reloading a gun. You're like, let's go shoot down some enemies.
Oh, was this the first Rumble Pack game? Like, I know they bundled it.
Shipped with it. Shipped with it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I know that Alamaxie, you have some notes for us. You want to walk us through the intro story? You start off the game and it has it does have a tutorial. We skipped that completely here. It kind of teaches you how to fly, and then it gives you a little rundown on what the scene is. And Alamaxie, do you remember what the backdrop is here? The big invasion going on.
So what I believe I remember is that many years ago, James McCloud, Fox's father, Peppy, and Pigma were on a mission to go. I believe they were going to defeat Andross because Andross was a scientist for them, but he defected after he kind of went crazy. And in the end, Pigma betrayed James and shot him down, but Peppy was able to escape and regroup with the rest of the crew. So we have Falco, Lombardi, Slippy Toad, Peppy Hare, and Fox McCloud on a mission to go defeat Andross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it all takes place in the Lylat System. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And the main homeworld, I guess, is on the planet Cornelia. It's like the fourth planet from the sun. Corneria, thank you. Fourth planet from the sun, and that's where you start the fight. And so we have come down here with our little buddies here, and I'm looking at the water here, and it does have some really cool reflections.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things I really like is as you're shooting your bullets or your lasers or whatever, they're kind of green, and they reflect off the water, and the incoming fire does the same. So it's like, wow, that's really cool. This game is visually a treat, in my opinion. It's just a lot of colors going on here. It's pretty simple looking in terms of geometry and everything, but I think they do well with like all the particles and explosions going on.
Oh, they really do. And there's destructible terrain. There's just extra little things that didn't need to be in there. You can destroy, like these little satellites. They didn't really help your kill count, but it's just another thing you could do to alter the environment and just find new ways to do things. And there's even parts of the game, especially here in Corneria, that certain parts of the environments were used to actually spawn enemies. Like earlier in the level, when you're flying through the city, there's some buildings that have like the center part of them destroyed. If you turn your R-wing sideways and go through them, some of them will spawn like 3 or 4 enemies, which is helpful for getting medals.
Well, let's talk about medals while you teased us a little bit there. So what's the deal with medals?
So to get a medal in a level, you just simply have to kill enough enemies. And some enemies you get only 1 kill. If you kill things with like a charge shot, you get an extra kill. Bosses will give you a lot more, but here in Corneria, you have to get 150 kills to get the medal.
And then you have to have all your wingmen still alive, I think.
Yes.
That's what the manual says, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And some levels would actually, you would have different destinations depending on whether you hit the kill count.
Yeah, there was one mission. So many of the missions have kind of not secret objectives because they tell you them all in the manual, but like, things you can do that branch the path. So what we're gonna do is there's effectively three paths. And there's kind of the easy, medium, and hard. We're going to start out on the easy and then go through medium and hard there. So the very first boss you fight here is some big ape dude. All the characters and the enemies are anthropomorphic here, so you're always fighting some other type of animal, no humans. And this one's kind of cool because it's just a big walking tank sort of thing. And I guess the idea there is you want to fly behind it because it's got some sort of missile pack or fuel tank back there, and you just shoot that a bunch of times. And then
if you shoot out one of his legs, he'll just fall over.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's also they introduce you to all range mode there. So it's the first level, and all range mode is basically, instead of being on rails, which most of the game is, you get a kind of a boxy area which you can turn around and you free flight, and you're off rails for that time.
And it gives you a chance to go hunt Slippy down too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, so if you shoot your teammates, do they actually take damage?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they do.
Oh yeah.
I thought they just get upset. Okay, now I feel a little worse than. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I did all the missions on my playthrough. Everybody survived except for the final mission when I accidentally shot down, I think Falco was, because you just, oh man, I forgot about the first person mode, and you're doing it right here. And
I quickly just did it. I don't use it that often. So again, in the very first Star Fox, they'd have missions that were dedicated to first person mode, and you kind of swap between first person and third person. But this one is really just, you can anytime swap between the two. And other than looking kind of cool and feeling like you're in a starship, I didn't really think it was very useful because I'd prefer to see more of the screen. But who knows, maybe there's some situations where it actually makes sense.
To me, I feel like it was just more of a, hey, look at what we can do. We can give you multiple options to play through the game. Yeah, but really, first person it's almost nauseating in the sense that, when you do your barrel roll, your whole view barrel rolls too. Oh,
that's right. In the Super Nintendo, the way you do the barrel roll, it just like spins the HUD. But yeah, this one, it actually spins the whole camera. Which playing this game in VR would be kind of interesting if anyone So who wants to walk us through? Is it Meteo?
Meteo.
How do you pronounce it? Meteo. Okay. Just a bunch of asteroid fields here. Anyone have anything? Oh, I guess there's something that I failed to do here, but here's one of the challenge missions. Is there's a couple portals, and I guess if you hit all 5 or 6 of those portals, you go into a special area. Or
it's crazy. I remember this as a kid. It's like there's kind of these there's throughout levels. There's like kind of circular formations of rock or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll fly through that, and sometimes they reward you with items. And in this one, there's like these kind of blue wedges that form a circle, and as you hit them, you start to kind of barrel out of control, and the screen gets blurry, and if you manage to hit all of them, you like do this rainbow warp thing, and mechanically, I think it sets you back onto the hard path.
Really?
Yeah, because if you didn't find the hidden boss, I guess, in the first level, you go to this asteroid field. So this kind of sets you back up on the harder path, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to talk us through this ape boss here that we're fighting at the end of Meteo?
So with this one, he has a shield at the front of him that's going to rotate, and really with any boss, you just have to look for the yellow or the red flashy spot on him to hit. And this will rotate and show you the flashy spot sometimes. And if you keep hitting the shield, it'll charge up and shoot back at you. But then the boss is eventually like, oh no, you're too strong. You're never going to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So
I think he says something like, oh, I concede defeat. And then he flips over, if this isn't able to kill you. It's like, okay, jeez. This is so dumb.
And he just shoots you with these just purple circle beams, and you just have to dodge those, and again, just keep shooting the yellow flashy parts.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to think if most of the bosses. Yeah, so some of the bosses will taunt you. I know this one will taunt you. Of course, the when you do some dog fighting, you'll be taunted there. Some of the things bosses don't taunt you.
And when the bosses aren't taunting you, Falco is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Falco's got a little attitude on him. So Alamaxia, speculate, what's his deal? He's always like, because sometimes you'll save him and he'll be like, oh, great, I got saved by Fox, It's like he's running for his life here and you save his life. He's not happy. Like, what's his deal, man?
I'm not sure, but what I can think of is that he feels like he's in Fox's shadow, or he's just simply a mercenary and he doesn't really care for this group. He just wants his money to get out of there. But I mean, this group is a mercenary group.
Yeah. And then we have Pepe. Any thought, like, what's I never really got a sense of like what Pepe. Pepe. That's the French version of Pepe.
Right.
I never really got a sense of Pepe, like what his deal is. It's always just Falco and Slippy, but does Pepe have a personality?
Pepe's like straight and narrow. Like he's just kind of, helping you do your best. And he like Alamaxia said, he flew with Fox's father, so a lot of times he'll be like, "You're becoming a lot like your father, Fox." If you do well, which I really like that they respond based on how well you're doing, number of hits generally, or how their health is at the end of the level. And so Pepe will compliment you a lot, and Falco will start to come around and be like, all right, you're actually doing all right,
Doing okay.
Yeah, it's like Pepe's a little kid, Falco's the hotshot teenager, and then Pepe's like the wise old guy that's about to retire. It's like, I've been in so many firefights.
Yeah.
So this is this next mission here. I don't remember the mission name here, but the gist
Fortuna
of this
is the planet.
Fortuna.
Yep.
Thank you. It's a very basic mission. There's a dogfight going on, and then what's his name? Star
Wolf.
Star Wolf. Yeah.
Thank you, Star Wolf, and he's got 3 other cronies, and they have pretty basic ships that'll come into play a little bit later in the game. And if you are able to take out the ships in time, I guess you get to do a branching path. But if you don't, like me, and you let the bomb that was been placed on this base blow up, then you just advance to the next mission on easy mode, and that's it. Like I said, there's not much to this. Does anyone know what happens if you are able to defeat the other guys in time? Star Wolf?
I don't remember. It's been forever since I did like the lower path, but I think it just puts you on the medium path. Like, there's basically like kind of 3 paths, upper, middle, and lower. And then if you do the thing right, you'll like advance up 1 if you can, and if you fail, then you advance down.
If you fail,
yeah.
So beating that would have taken you to the medium path of Solar, and
Gotcha.
If you take them all out, then Fox is like, I'm gonna go in, disarm it, and you just see his R-wing go down and kind of dock inside of the station, and he's like, yeah, we did it.
All right. Very anticlimactic. Yeah, but that one is all range mode. There's no on rails mode there. So pretty short. And there's a couple of those that we're gonna do. But next we're on mission 4. This is Sector X Combat Zone. I love this one because I think, if I remember right, this one you get here, and it's sort of just a big graveyard of ships. Is this the one? Maybe it's a different one.
I think it's Sector Y.
Sector Y, okay.
Yeah.
I do remember this one being a lot of things you get to fly through, though.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see if that's true here.
Both the Sector ones have, like, all this debris and kind of just, like, blocky leftover ship parts
Yeah.
or whatever, and then you're flying through it. And well, I don't remember about Sector X, but Y definitely has there's points in the map where you're kind of flying straight at a wall, and if you choose to tilt up, you'll go an upper path, and if you choose to tilt down, you'll take a lower path. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize you could change your path that way.
Yeah, it's only maybe one or two places that I can remember, but
Sure.
it is a thing.
A lot of replayability in this entire
Yeah.
game. I think each of the
really is.
missions are, really at most 7 to 10 minutes, but I found myself going through them a couple times. One, because I kept dying at the end for some of them, but two, just because there's different bonus objectives, and it was cool to try to go through. Although, yeah, again, like I said, the medals are just really hard for me. You really have to master the timing of the enemy spawns, because like what Alamaxie was saying a while ago, is if you are able to kill a bunch of enemies with one of your charged up shots, you get more points. So I think the strategy is there, know where they spawn and then charge up that shot to be able to blow them all up.
And another strategy is your beam, whenever you hit your shoot button, shoots out 3 lasers like a go pew pew pew. And if you time your button hits just right, it's just a constant stream of lasers you can shoot out. So you can do a charge shot to kill a group, and then just use your lasers as fast as you can to get the rest of them.
Yep.
But something I didn't notice you recorded on this one is one thing I loved about this particular level is whenever you're flying through and you have a big piece of debris in front of you, suddenly you see this arm just go through it and break the debris, and it's what the heck was that? It's this guy's arms.
Yeah, so
they come back down and fight him. This guy, he has 2 ways you can or two different endings really. You just hit his head a whole bunch of times and he gets upset at you. He has these 2 big arms. He'll swing at you. He's like, destroy. It's all robotic. There's not actually a pilot in there. It's a robot. But after you take him out, first off, he's like, oh no, you beat me. And then he gets back up and he starts swinging wildly at you.
I love that he waves his fingers
yeah,
wasn't all
like,
I had.
nah.
Yeah, this guy reminds me if Wall-E, the movie Wall-E, if he grew up and was destructive. But yeah, he swipes Slippy, and Slippy falls into a planetary orbit, and I guess impacts with the planet there. So the next mission, spoilers, we got to go on the planet, save him. I thought it would be funny if I just as a joke skipped that mission because it was worthless. But for completeness, we actually will go through there.
Now, you can beat this boss quick enough to where Slippy doesn't get smacked down, and it'll take you to the upper path again.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
But why would you do that? Slippy gets smacked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We didn't talk...
also...
Oh, go
for it. No, you go.
All right. I was just going to say, we didn't talk about how the lasers work, because you start off and you can shoot a single green beam, and then you can get a laser power up, and then it gets you 2 green beams, and then another one gets you 2 blue beams, and they're both damage ups.
Right?
Yeah, plasma beams. And then from then on, if you get more lasers, it'll repair your wings if they're damaged. And if you are avoiding damage well, you'll just have the blue beams pretty much forever, and it makes you really powerful.
Yeah, that's kind of how I beat one of the very last missions there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you take a lot of damage on your wings, I think it's kind of localized. So if you smack into a wall or a missile hits one of your wings, it'll actually blow it off and effectively revert your lasers back to level 1.
Yeah.
So that's always frustrating.
And it'll throw your flying off too.
Yeah,
that was
brutal.
So cool.
Yeah.
To me, it's if you get a wing blown off and suddenly your ship is just kind of lurching down to that side, so you have to correct it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I was gonna mention. Did anyone catch the name of our robot assistant, which is helping us?
It's Rob, isn't it?
Rob 64.
Rob. Yeah.
I think his name is Rob 64, so that's kind of cute. Nintendo needs to bring Rob back. Is all I'm saying.
Rob.
Yeah. So this is Lobos. Do you remember the tank mission here? Do you want to walk us through?
Boy, I tell you, I haven't seen this one forever. Every time I play through, I always just go the hard path.
Go for the hard one.
I don't know. That's kind of my.
Well, there's a couple of these levels. Each of the paths has one call it like alternate vehicle. And so this one is just, it's a tank with a big cannon on it. And
The
you're going through
Landmaster.
Landmaster.
Landmaster, thank you. By the way, is there any Landmaster action figures? Because that seems like that would be a perfect. It's like, oh, it's the Landmaster. Anyway, so you're going through this desert planet here, and there's just all these mines are on the ground, and there's lasers that are shooting down at you, and just a lot of things that are blowing you around. And I constantly would hit these mines, and my little Landmaster would tumble. But eventually, you get to the boss here, and the boss has Slippy, and I guess you have to save Slippy to progress the game, so we had to do that. And this one, he's kind of this crab dude he's got, I think, 4 or 6 arms, something like that, and you got to blow off all his arms first, and then I think it then will open up his chest, and then you can start damaging his chest. And then once you blow up his arms, though, that are holding Slippy will kind of fly off, and he's like, thanks. And I think he might help you also. I guess we'll find out. In combat.
They give you the
they
HP
analyze,
HUD.
Yeah. That's actually one thing that's really cool is, so you've got 3 wing animals, and and each one does something different. So Slippy, he will analyze the boss's shield, which basically shows you how much life the boss has. And then is it Falco that gives you hints on how to kill the boss? Or is that Peppy?
Oh, well, Peppy just did it, so I guess that's Peppy.
Okay, yeah, Peppy does that. And I don't remember what Falco does.
Taunts.
I don't know. What does he do?
He just taunts you.
Is that all is it seriously all he does? He's got to do something.
I feel like that's not all he does. I think... Okay. Yeah.
Well, in any case, if those wing animals go down, you lose that ability, so it gives you a little bit of incentive to keep people alive, I guess.
I was going to say, in the first level, like, if you fly under all the arches, he'll start to comment on it, and he goes, pretty smooth flying, Fox. And then if you keep it up, then he guides you to, like, the secret boss. So I guess he needs to be up for that to work. If you let enemies kill him, he will not show you that secret path there. So that's cool.
We'll get back there when we go to the medium route here. After killing the crab boss or whatever that is, we go to the next place, which is it's another all range mode mission. This one was kind of hard to do because most all ranges that you kind of like can fly in any direction, but this one almost kind of forced you around in a clockwise manner, which is really, really weird.
So it seems like the planet or the satellite you're on is like orbiting, so it kind of you're just not moving straight along with everything.
Yeah. So it was a little bit weird, and there's this shield in the center, and the intent is that you need to kill these 6 things that are powering the shield, and those are around the ring of this space station. And then I think when that shield is down, then a pillar will come up and a bunch of little weak spots come up, and you have got to kill them. Oh, and of course we've got Pigma coming in here. Jeez. I love that line he says.
My gosh.
He says something like, he's like, Daddy screamed real good when he died. It's like, wow. That's brutal. That's cold.
You know, something I don't think I've noticed or didn't remember. So whenever you were fighting Starwolf back on that planet, did you defeat Andrew and Leon? Because only Starwolf and Pigma are here.
Interesting.
And I wonder if none of them would show up. I don't think any of them show up if you defeat them then and go down this path.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think that's right, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of really cool little things like that where you can affect the later game.
Mm-hmm. So this one wasn't too bad. Again, what is his name? Star Wolf. Why do I keep saying Star Fox? Why did they name him Star Fox? Why did they name him Star Wolf? Couldn't they name him like Shadow Wolf or something? I don't know. It's messing with my head. So he comes down again, and I don't think he presents too much of a challenge. For me, the challenge was in the very center. The weak spots rotate around, so you have to time your attack or your approach on the center with the rotation there. So that was a little challenging. So I found that if you just like run into it and then hit a bomb, you just blow everything up, and that works for me. All right, so we are now on Venom.
Venom, yeah.
Venom on the easy mode.
Of Venom.
Yeah. And this one's cool. And actually, you go straight from that shield blowing up level straight into Venom. So usually there's like a little to do about, hey, mission complete. Here's all of your stats. Here's your wingman reporting in, and then you move on to the next level. But this one's just like, nope, we're flying straight on to Venom here. And this is this kind of looks like a poisonous planet, you know. You just look at the ground is all barren brown, and then the sky has this sort of a yellowish, greenish brown color to it. So there's nothing too special about it, but you do go to some ancient ruins, what I actually think is really cool here. And Alamaxie, do you remember this fight that you?
Yeah, this
kind of looks like you're killing Knack from.
Yeah, this is Golemandros, and what you have to do is, you look like you're in kind of this just Incan or Egyptian temple, just a lot of yellow stone, sandy stone, and he just looks like a statue from one of those. You have to blow off all of his armor pieces. He has like shoulder, arm, head, chest, butt, and legs.
Yeah,
you gotta shoot that big monkey booty.
Yeah, and he's running through, and behind him he's like knocking down traps and making obstacles for you. I really enjoyed this fight. This is sort of continuous hallway, so I think it's just, you know, it's just like it probably could go on forever.
Yeah.
But you know, eventually you knock off all his armor pieces, and you see flashing spots, and you know what to do from there, right?
Yep.
But it's not done yet. Lobos, I'm going to give you 2 guesses. Who do we fight after this?
And Slippy.
Yeah. And I like that Fox is always like, I'll go it alone from here. He's like, you know, he wants.
This is
I think
personal.
really what no, I think it really is. Now, Slippy, I'm good on this one. Okay, I don't quite need you here. So, but this harkens back to the Super Nintendo version of Star Fox, where it's just a face, and I'm trying to remember if there's like 2 hands in the no, there's no hands. I think it's just eyes in the Super Nintendo. But yeah, in this one, it's Andros is a big ape dude, and he's got 2 disembodied hands, and each of the hands has these little like glowing things on them. And the intent is that you shoot the glowy things to blow up his hands. And while those hands are active, he'll swipe up and down, or he'll swipe from the left to the right and opposite. And so you pretty much have to change between staying above the screen or below the screen, depending on where he's swiping. And then he'll also
shoot him
suck
in the eyes.
You got to shoot his eyes, yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know. Do you have to kill the hands to kill him?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you shoot his eyes, but he also has this breath attack. Well, it's more like an inhalation, a suck, yeah. And you kind of have to. I couldn't figure out exactly what you need to do. I just like went off to one of the sides of the screen and then mashed on my break button. But if he sucks you in, he'll chew you up and give you some damage there.
Yeah.
And then spit you back out.
You can shoot a bomb at him. Let him suck in the bomb.
Oh, while he's sucking.
Really? Yeah. Jeez, I should have tried. I don't know why I didn't try that.
But on phase 1, when he had his hands, if you shoot his eyes a whole bunch, then he'll like cover his eyes with one hand, like, that hurts, and the other hand will just be up and available to hit. So you can basically beat him without him actually taking a swing at you if you just hit his eyes
you just
enough.
stun lock him basically.
Yeah. And then he turns into this mecha face. I don't know really what the deal is, because he just charges you and takes up the whole screen. This might just be a damage contest, right? Who can damage each other faster?
Yeah.
You can dodge it to the side, but this is just basically the game telling you this wasn't the real Andros.
Right.
Because it was like a
robot.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you kill fake Andros, you fly out of a little tunnel. By the way, everything in this game is like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Without, it's like everything from the asteroid fields to the going in the tunnels here. Even like I think one of the levels you're in space and the guy's like, "Oh, it's a trap" or something like that. It's just
careful,
like
it's a trap.
yeah, it's just this is definitely a love story to Star Wars. Even the first Star Fox is exactly the same. So I absolutely love it. That and they nail the fantasy, right? Like if this was a Star Wars game and they reskinned it, like this would be amazing, and is amazing. But so we kind of cut out the credits there, but yeah, we got the ending screen, and off in the distance you see Andros's head still there, and you get
laughing.
an invoice.
Ha, 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 ha.
Oh yeah, he laughs at you. You get a little invoice here, and
That's
there
the
we've
invoice
completed
that,
the
that
easy.
Star Fox gives General Pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So we've
Yeah.
completed easy mode. We're gonna go to the medium mode, although medium mode doesn't really have a unique end, so we're gonna do the real ending during hard mode. So let's talk about the medium mode here. To get on the path there, we are back at
Corneria.
Corneria, thank you.
Corneria.
And the objective here is we got to keep Falco alive. And near the end, there's these 7 stone rings, I guess, and you fly through those. Those are the ones, Lobos, you were saying. I think it was
yeah.
Lobos. It's like Falco will say, "Hey, you're doing pretty good there."
Yeah.
Anyway, he brings you through this waterfall. And Lobos, you had to fight this boss, right? You
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
walk us through what's
Yeah.
going on here.
Yeah, this is a very memorable fight. I don't know. I've done this fight so many times, so I just.
Oh, actually,
it's
sorry.
so
Can I just
quotable.
interrupt?
Yeah,
this harkens back to the very first Star Fox. They have a boss that's very similar, but
nice.
it's kind of on the ground. Anyway,
Nice.
Please continue.
Yeah, no, it's like a 4-part ship, and it'll open up and like either shoot some stuff at you or spawn some enemies. And while it's open, you can kind of shoot at each part, and you break each section off at a time. And then once you break them all off, there's like a middle section that just starts firing like crazy and is flying around. And there's always there's always like a panic phase once you've like broken off everything, which I thought was really cool because you're always like, "Oh, go mash!" But yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Your wingmen don't really do much here.
Yeah.
They'll kind of still circle around. I think really they're just extra targets for the missiles to come out at, which is, I guess okay.
Yeah, I don't think they ever contribute to the actual fights.
Yeah.
But Rob 64 does. Great
Rob
Fox
64,
will cover you.
Yeah, and Cat will.
Oh, yeah,
so we'll
Cat,
talk about
yep.
Cat. So at this point, we've completed. We can call it like the special objective for the first level, and now instead of going to the easy, you now have the option between going hard and medium. So we're going to medium, and this is Sector Y, and this one's pretty cool. Alamaxia, do you want to walk us through what's going on here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of mecha apes that just blew up a really large ship out here, and Star Fox and his team have to, run them off. There's a whole...
They kind of remind me of Gundam.
Yeah.
Gundams in space.
Yeah. And really, they keep descending on... I honestly am not sure what these structures are that we're passing. I guess they're spaceships.
Yeah.
But they honestly, they just look like large platforms and shipping boxes just floating in space. So yeah, I guess one goes down there, but really this level is just they are throwing a lot of enemies at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
very
starting
to get a little bit of slowdown as well there.
Yeah.
So I think that slowdown is what the game wants you to do. It's like all this stuff is coming out and we don't want you to just fly right past it. We want you to there's a lot of ships flying at you, so you need to actually blow away through them and shoot away through them and get through that hole. Or just use a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, what's up?
Just gonna say, I find pretty much the entire time I'm playing the game, I'm mashing the. We didn't talk about the controls really, but L and R will tilt left or right, and if you double tap, you'll barrel roll to that side.
Barrel roll.
I'm pretty much just always mashing barrel roll and lasers and just.
That's something I learned to do later on in the game here, but I wasn't proficient enough in that yet.
Yeah, it becomes super helpful because it'll just deflect regular laser fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now we also didn't go over the awesome things in all range mode, which is my personal favorite part of the Star Fox is being able to fight in the all range mode, because you whenever you're on just the on rails, you can do a loop the loop. It's like you hold, I think it's down in your left C, which is boost, and you'll do a loop. But in all range mode, I mean, you can do that to, if an enemy's sneaking up on you, you can do a loop to get them in front of you, or you can do a U-turn, just like you flip up and then your ship rotates around. That's really cool, just like do an immediate 180. But with those barrel rolls and just air rolling, if you're air rolling to the right, that like just turn to the right, it'll make you turn right faster. And if you're barrel rolling, you'll even turn faster to that side. Yep. So you can just spam barrel roll in a direction and turn that direction super fast.
Yeah, you can hit the brake as well, and you just like practically on the dime.
Really good turns doing that.
Yeah.
I use that a lot on like one of the last levels there, because you really have to make some tight turns there.
Yeah.
So those
level.
little Gundam guys, they have big shields and they just kind of float around in space. There's not a lot special there. You kill 2 of these Gundam guys and then a big mecha Gundam comes out. Maybe that's redundant, but in any case, and then you just kill him. He's kind of hard to find sometimes.
Yeah,
he kind of goes off in space, but yeah, nothing much to that.
He does kind of make it easier on you, because he'll say, "I'll take you guys out from the ship," and then he lands on his ship and just stands there. So you're like, "Okay, I'll come shoot you."
Exactly.
Makes him
now, Lobos, I think you said you like this level.
I
right?
love this level, Bill.
So it's like Independence Day. Which came first? Independence Day or this?
Oh no, Independence Day it was like 95, I think.
This is basically Independence Day.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. This level's awesome.
Walk us through the level, then, Lobos.
You arrive and Bill's this dog, and like his civilization is there fighting against these aliens that have shown up, and it is literally Independence Day. This giant ship centers over some huge important building, and it's like firing up this huge beam, and they're like, "Oh, you got to take out the rudders or whatever." But I just love Bill, because he's just like this gnarly dude, and he's like, "Dude, the hatches are open. Go take them out." And if you get like a timer eventually, and if you don't, they actually nuke the building. But my favorite part is you can take down his fighter planes, and he'll be like, "Fox, that's one of ours."
I think I did. Oh yeah, because it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, they're like green.
Which
they have like a
ship is
green
which.
stripe, and like that's it.
Yeah,
yeah. They also don't have the red thruster coming out of their back, so if you're tailing them, it's easy to find them. But those little guys did look also exactly like the ships from Independence Day.
Oh, nice.
Like the aliens.
Once you blow up those 4 hatch locks, there's the core is exposed, and it's just protrudes from the bottom of that alien ship, and you just blow that up, and you have, I think, a minute. And I was always able to beat that in time, so I never had them blow up the pyramid there. But I guess you go back to easy mode if you fail.
I think so.
Yeah, you'd go to Sector X.
Now we move on to Solar, which actually I really, really enjoyed. This is probably my second favorite level in the game. And it's basically a world of just lava. And I found out that I think it's if you fly close to the lava, you take damage. But if you fly above, you either take no damage or just very little damage.
Yeah.
And I'm also pretty sure it won't outright kill you, because I'm pretty sure I spent some time with just like pretty much no health, but I wasn't dying, so that's good. But there's all these fireballs that come out of the lava, and there's a lot of these. We should probably talk about rings, because there's silver rings, and silver rings will just give you a little bit of bonus shield. And then there's gold rings. They'll give you a little bit more bonus shield. Plus, if you collect 3 of those in a mission, you'll get your max shield increased. And then there's a silver ring. Well, it kind of looks like a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing's almost, call it like almost a full heal. But yeah, there's all these silver rings throughout this level, and they know that it's fun because you're kind of like, your health is constantly draining, so you kind of have to keep hitting all these silver rings that enemies drop to stay alive. So I really like that. And then you get to this big boss. He comes out of the lava, and he's making like these really big waves, and the waves you can run into if you don't dodge them. And he's got two of these big pincer arms, and he's slashing down at you. You blow up those pincer arms, and then you gotta shoot his head. He kind of looks like
he's like a mantis.
A mantis, yeah, that's perfect.
He's got big mantis arms, and
yeah.
That's so cool though. When you blow off his arms, he's like bleeding lava, and he flings his lava blood at you, and it's so cool.
Yeah, I love the pattern. He spins around, and just like lava comes in a concentric pattern at you, and you have to kind of fly in between those. So yeah, so much fun. That was one of my favorite levels to do. And then after that, we have Macbeth, and I also think Macbeth was also a level that was in the first game, and I thought it was really fun to go in and revisit some of the levels. In particular, there's one later on where it's very toxic, and it was kind of a lush ocean world, and it was ruined. But we'll get to that. I think it's in the hard mode. Mm-hmm. So who wants to talk about this little... I guess this is the Land Rover's second mission, huh?
Yeah, the Landmaster, yeah.
I think it's the only other Landmaster mission.
Yeah,
there's only two. And this one you have the Forever Train, which is driving alongside you. And there's another ape driving, and I mean, you're fighting against monkeys. But it'll drop out boulders. It has things that look like gigantic, like coal cars on it. You can blow those up and get a lot of extra kills, and if you shoot them fast enough, then you won't get like some of those rocks tumbling out. And really, it's just you continue down. You're just trying to chase this thing down. And later on the level, there's some pylons or these switches that you can shoot and hit. If you hit all 8 of them, then it affects the outcome of the level. I mean, kind of like the other levels, which is really cool. But this is also one that forces you to learn how to hover, which I think is so cool with the Landmaster.
It doesn't force you. You can so damage.
Nothing really
boosts your way through anything in this game.
Right, but it's just another fun dimension that they added to this tank. It's like you're not just bound to being on the ground. You can do your barrel rolls and such, but you can also do a little bit of flying.
So we are going to face the boss here, and then we'll rewind a little bit and then do the pylons you were talking about here.
Yeah.
So this boss here is kind of interesting. It is tethered to the train, and so the train is kind of going along the path, and there's this little flying, I don't know what it is, flying
it's
aircraft.
Like a moth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it shoots things. It'll put these like glaives in the ground, I guess. I don't know how to describe those. And then it'll just make it an obstacle to damage you when you go through it. It'll just, shoot bullets at you. It has these plasma beams it will shoot at you as well. It'll shoot out these
bunch of
ball
bombs.
bearings or whatever. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I only killed this boss once, so I don't know exactly what you do. I did a combination of attacking the train and the actual moth thing.
Yeah,
but
it looks
one
like
of the things.
I was gonna say it looks like you don't have Slippy because you didn't have the health information.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about that though is that when you blow up the moth, it's still tethered to the train, and so the guy in the train's like, get away, and the tether pulls him down into the train and blows up the train. So we have a more comical death for the train here. So there's 8 of these pylons, and they're all numbered. And a couple of them are kind of hidden, but this is one where you just kind of had to play multiple times and memorize the path here. So the intent is that if you knock down all of these pylons, you can swap a junction box, and that will cause the train to go down a different path, and that path goes into some sort of...
It's like their ammunition
factory.
depot.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's just like super comical, right? Because we're going to see it here in just a minute, but when he's going down that, the conductor is just like,
no, hit the brakes.
Yeah.
But I remember this, I always loved the explosions in this game. They're just like big, like red and orange balls, but they just go, and you're like, yeah, and the rumble pack's going, and especially this facility, and it gives you 50 hits extra to the
50?
level.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember that just being like, oh, this is the
Nice.
biggest explosion in the game. But yeah, super cool.
Just so many
Arms are numb
explosions.
from the rumble.
Yeah, dude. Best.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, there's really no boss fight. If you hit all those
Right,
pylons, it's you just kind of win that mission. And I don't remember if we'll see it here. Oh, I skipped it. One of my favorite things though is when you complete that mission, your big ship that kind of carries around, you call it like an
Great
aircraft
Fox.
carrier.
Great
Great Fox, thank you. He will kind of swoop in behind you, and Fox will take his vehicle and just kind of air boost into the ground, and so or air boost off the ground, and then the ship will just kind of come in like eat it, right? So it's kind of cool. It's very
Into the
dynamic.
hangar.
Yeah, it's very like James Bondish to kind of escape there. All right, let's see. What level do we have next here?
Aquas.
This is
Trying to
Zone.
see.
Wait, is this Aquas or Zonus?
This is Aquas.
Oh, okay.
Zonus is the more poisony looking
Oh,
one.
you're right. Yeah. I had them
Okay.
flipped in my
Yeah.
head.
But this we are driving. What's this submarine's name? I keep wanting to say
The Blue Marine.
Blue
The
Marine.
Blue Marine. Yeah.
I kept wanting to say blue submarine, but that's something else.
Yeah.
But no, the Blue Marine, which this is honestly my least favorite level in the game. It is very dark. It suffers from frame rate issues really.
It does. That's for
really
sure.
badly, and it's fortunately the only level that you actually do use a submarine on. But,
Now, I always did like this mission for kind of the ambience. It was really creepy and like underwater, so you're just like, and you're on your own. But there is just so much stuff, and the other thing I do like is they give you infinite quote unquote bombs, which are torpedoes in this. But it ends up being just a lot of stress on my hand, because then I'm like, oh, I should always be firing torpedoes. Yeah,
I think this
For
is
all
one
hits.
where I would constantly mash the barrel roll and just like fire torpedoes at the end here.
yeah.
And I think Slippy says to shoot the torpedoes to light up the area, but I think I might have missed that message. So I don't know.
Right.
Does it effectively light up the
It
area?
does. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty dark without it, but because I'm constantly mashing them, it's just always lit. And as soon as one blows up, you can shoot the next. So you basically always have light.
And it's got one of those, I think they're called like angler fishes, or anglerfish.
Yeah.
That's a big shark looking thing with a little antenna with a ball of light at the end of it. Oh, that's so, and that thing comes at you. That's cool. You got to blow that up. And then they've got some electric, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a jellyfish, but they have a triangle, and between the points of the triangle make up like an electrified obstacle, and so it's moving up and down, and you have to kind of either go through the triangle or go around it. And then you get to the final boss, which none other than
a giant clam.
Giant
clam.
And what
the
else?
enemy bioweapon, though, like
Yeah, that's
apparently
right.
it's bioengineered or something. I don't know. But
And is it shooting pearls out at you here? I think it was shooting.
Yeah, it
some
seems like
projectile.
it.
Yeah.
I always remember
Someone should collect
loving
those.
the rainbow colors on those stalks. That's really cool.
Yeah, so the clam opens up. It's normally closed, and it'll open up, and you can see the muscle inside of there. But it's got like two little, I don't know, like gelatinous hinges maybe. And those things, I think you have to shoot to weaken the shell, and then the eye will come out, and then you can just start bombing the eye. I think you actually have to use a torpedo to actually damage it.
Yeah.
Now, one
Meanwhile,
other
there's
thing you
pearls
could have
coming
done
at
on
you.
this is above the clam on the top, it had like these little vent things, like barnacles that would shoot out at you. But you could destroy all those and keep it from firing out of those.
Oh, cool. So once you kill that, I beat this, I think, on my first try, which I was super happy, because I was like, I don't want to go through this level again. It wasn't terrible, but yeah, the frame rate was kind of left a little bit to be desired there. So so I guess I think we're on the hard mode now. I think we beat the medium mode. And again, when I say beat, because really at the end of the medium mode, you either choose the hard mode or easy mode ending. Unlike the first one, where there actually was 3 complete paths, this one, there's only 2 destinations there. So this is Zonus. This was the one that I was talking about. This is in the first Star Fox. It looks really cool. There's like birds flying around. There's these sea serpents, which we'll see later. But it's a toxic waste now, and it's kind of sad. And I think even someone comments like, "What did they do to this place?"
Yeah.
But the objective here, if you want to continue on a hard mode, is you need to kill all of the spotlights while being undetected. Is that right, Alamaxia?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Alamaxia, I
spotlights.
watched you play this, so why don't you walk me through? Plus, we see a new character coming up soon too, right?
Yes, we will. We'll be seeing Cat. She is this pink cat lady that you see in a whole 2 levels. This one, and then she'll help you out in another level as long as you do good.
Yeah,
but
she gets her own music though.
Yeah. Nice little sound bite.
Kind of a little tropical.
And she actually is helpful and useful. She'll be like, "Hey, I'll take this side of the searchlights. You get the other side." So she'll take a couple of them out for you, which makes it a lot easier because it is pretty hard to hit all the searchlights and not be seen. There's one particular one close to the end of it that it's like behind this gate that you have to shoot the wheel on the side to get it to rise, and if you do it just wrong, I mean you'll get seen. One thing I do really love about this level is it's all water, and whenever something can make a splash in the water, like an enemy coming in or out, or your laser hitting the water, it'll make a splash where it hits. It is aesthetically actually a pleasing level. There's a lot going on in it.
Yeah, and actually, if you get knocked down below, you can get knocked below the ocean and still fly, which is really kind of cool. It's like, why can't I go under the ocean? That's awesome. So, I actually, speaking of the searchlights, I think there was a searchlight there. I didn't think I had destroyed, but I think Cat must have got it for me because it was one of these that was kind of tricky to hit. I think maybe this is the one you were talking about, or I don't know, one of these. In any case, we're coming up on the end boss here, and this is an interesting one. Who's got the best strats? Because this one I was kind of flubbing around. I didn't know exactly what I was doing. Who's got the best strats to kill this tanker thing?
The strat is bombs.
Bombs?
So he's got these. It's this floatable ship, and he kind of turns around. He's got these exhaust pipes. I believe the first thing you do is you bomb the exhaust pipes to take them out. The side parts are constantly shooting cannonballs, which when you break them will most of the time give you bombs if you need them. And it's basically all guiding you towards using bombs. But yeah, you bomb each exhaust pipe, and then you can start bombing the 2 side sections. And if you destroy one, he'll turn around and he'll say, "Dang, deploy the crane." And then the crane will start pulling up a new section, at which point you got to bomb the crane. And it's just bombs after bombs after bombs. And eventually, once you break off both sides at the same time, or you can destroy the crane and then destroy both sides, then he enters, frenzy mode where he's just like, shooting stuff and throwing this ball. And it's crazy. It's a cool fight.
Yeah, because I think if you let him recover one of his sides, it'll heal the boss.
Oh yeah, I think you
will.
Yeah.
If you break off one of his off one of those little cannonball things and he brings it back up, it'll heal that full health that it was. Because you don't actually do damage to him until something drops off. Or no, I guess you do a little bit of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just killed the crane now, and now I can finally kill the boss here.
There you go. Now going crazy.
Yeah. Now he's got his he's going back and forth. He's got this big anchor thing he's shooting. It's like a big cannonball with an anchor on it, and then of course shooting fire at me. And what is it? Is this a sloth or a monkey that I'm fighting?
I think it's a monkey again.
They are all primates that you fight against.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bearded orangutan or something.
That's right. I guess I didn't think about that. Andros
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I don't think I've noticed or paid attention to until watching everything in the row here is what is something that all the easy enemies bosses have in common and something all the hard bosses have in common. They're polar opposites of each other.
Do all the easies have the fake outs?
Or? All the easies have a flashing dot on them where you need to hit it. All the hard ones, you have to be a little more smarter and figure it out.
You got to trial and error. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, yeah.
Oh man, this level.
This level is not. I think this is my favorite level in the game, because this one is this the one. Actually, let me double check. Is this one where you're like assaulting?
This is where you
Venom?
defend against the missiles.
Oh, the missiles. All right, yeah, we'll get to the next one. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of this one, but Lobos, you said you liked it, right? So
I just remember it. It's notorious in my mind. Yeah, because this is you're in all range mode and you're just dogfighting against easy enemies, and then suddenly it's like missile incoming, and you're like, oh crap! So you have to actually approach the missiles, which are pretty slow. I mean, they're very slow, and you have to run to them and destroy them. But if you don't destroy them before they hit Great Fox, they'll get damaged and you lose the level.
Yeah.
But
Cat will come and help you.
Yeah, Cat will come and help. I just remember when I was a kid, I would get super stressed when it's like, I think at one point it spawns 3 missiles, and you just got to get on them real fast. You can see them on the radar, which is really cool, and target them that way. But yeah,
this is one level where I think the skybox worked really hard against you, because you couldn't really see the missiles until you were right on top of them. And even the enemies, they're just so dark, like it's dark gray, a little bit of red. Things just blend into the background. It's like you're shooting at something. I'm like, wait, I'm shooting a star in the distance. An enemy comes from the side. Blah.
So one of the things I did is I kind of swapped to the claw grip on this, because if you hold, it's funky to hold the slowdown button, because that's the C button, but you want to fire at the same time, so you kind of have to like hold and do a claw grip there. But yeah, that's really, if you can do that, that's great, because I just sat behind those missiles and I slow boosted, and then I just fired over and over and over, and I was able to kill them while I was behind them. All right, I want to talk about Area 6, because this is my favorite level of the game. First off, this is really great. Cayman says, came in here, no problems. And then like someone blows up, and then he's like, do you copy emergency maneuvers?
Immediately,
yeah, immediately. It's like, this is essentially like, you know that big fight in Return of the Jedi when everyone mobilizes to attack the Emperor? This is honestly what it's like. There's just so much stuff going on. You're passing by these Death Stars. You've got Gray Fox coming in. He's like, he's strafing the ships and blowing them up. It's just so much madness going on, and I love it. And you hear like Andros is saying, or like someone is reporting to Andros, like they've passed the first checkpoint or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can see the planet getting bigger. Oh,
yeah, the planet getting bigger was always really cool.
Oh, I didn't notice that one before.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Cool.
Yeah.
I did a project in college that was like you're approaching the world, and I had that as like a thing. I think it must have been inspired by this, because it's just such a cool effect.
That's cool.
Yeah, it really makes it feel like you're just like blasting through this blockade, right? Because there's just things going all around you here. So
the carrots.
I was able to blow up all the torpedoes, and if you don't, I think maybe one hits Slippy.
Yeah, he takes some damage.
Slippy says, "Ah!" I think
this level is really cool also because you can destroy everything. There's like big ships and stuff, but you can take them all out, and even these like big spinning top facility things on whatever they are, defense turrets.
They look like kind of like satellites.
Yeah.
Spicy satulites.
Yeah. And
there's even Star Destroyers. They have to shoot in the same spot.
Yeah. Shoot them in the bridge.
Yeah, this is great. And okay, so we just passed the second line here, and then occasionally Rob will give you a little comms, and you don't have to click it, but if you click on the rightmost C button, he'll either drop some sort of power up for you, or in this situation, Gray Fox will come and help you out. And so again, all this fire is going off, and then you got comms coming in. You're trying to mash comms. They're like, all right, we're helping you out. So it's like, gosh, this is a must play, this level right here. Everyone needs to check this out. And then we fight the boss here. You get really close to the Venom, and they say, all right, now you got to deploy the special weapon.
The boss was even the same size as Venom in the background. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. And
this
it's like a big
nuts.
saucer that appears, and it opens up, and it has these 3 red orbs, and you kill those. And once you kill those, it does a little bit of damage. And we're not seeing it here because Slippy, R.I.P. But yeah, those killing all those red orbs will do a little bit of damage and then spawn these like 3. You guys remember like is his name Dr. Octo from Spider-Man?
Octorok?
Octo?
Doc Ock. That's what I know.
Doc Ock, yeah. You know how you got like that's kind of like claw hands? Kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
But the escalation here is once you do that a couple times, the things now start to rotate. So the ship opens and the red things are now rotating around, which makes it a little bit more challenging to hit.
And the tentacles they'll flop around even more as you progress through it too.
Yeah, that's right, because you got to hit the heads of the tentacles, and what's really annoying is they'll come lash out at you, and that's a good way to lose your powered up weapons.
Oh yeah,
because if it hits you, like sometimes it'll clip your wing and boom, and you really want your weapons powered up going into the next level.
Yeah,
is what we'll talk about. So losing those is really painful, but the boss also does this thing kind of about a third through its life. It will do this like laser thing. This pink laser will come and kind of trace you around the screen, and then after that's done, it will allow you to shoot the center core or whatever, and you can one cycle it basically. If you don't do enough damage, it'll close and you have to go through that sequence again. But yeah, if you get the lasers or the plasma things, you can one cycle the boss, which is really nice. It's kind of a pain otherwise. All right, who is the best dog fighter in the group? It wasn't me, so I want someone that's good at this to walk me through the final battle.
I feel like I'm decent, but go ahead, Lobos.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I didn't take any damage when I was in, but I did kill.
Serious?
Yeah, I did kill. Who was it? Falco, I think. But the trick to these guys is just like the other fights where you're turning really tightly. Basically, anytime you see fire from behind you, you do a somersault. And I didn't even explain, but we're dog fighting with Team Star Wolf again. So Wolf is here.
They got upgraded ships, and they'll remind you that
they do
over
have
and over and
upgraded
over.
Ships. Yeah,
they'll be like, oh, we got new ships,
and they're doing barrel rolls and somersaults. And the trick is really you'll start firing at one, and they'll do a somersault. But if you just do a somersault too, then you're still going to be in a good position to shoot them. And it's all about just aiming ahead of them, and they get torn up so fast with plasma beams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't realize until I got to this mission how to turn quickly, and then Alamaxia kind of hinted at how to turn. And once I learned that, and then once I learned that barrel rolls were really effective, And then also when I came here with plasma beams, this became quite a bit easier. But yeah, I probably tried this stage 20 times or so before I beat it. It was rough.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely had a lot of times that I failed this, when I was first learning the game. But once you learn those tricks, it just makes it so much easier.
I did like how Star Wolf's formation, like how they flew, completely changed, like their AI, their strategy, because whenever one's tailing you and you do the loop, another that's like maybe attacking Peppy or another one, they'll rotate in and get right behind you, and then the one you just looped out of will go and rotate to that your wingmate. So it really created this much more you feel like you're being outgunned and outmaneuvered, and you really are until at some point you just figure out like he's tailing you, do 2 loops. Then you take out the guy that rotated in front of you, and you got a open enemy to attack, or just go and attack all the ones that are tailing your wingmates.
Yeah, if I recall correctly,
if they're still alive.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, each bad guy targets a specific person. So like Pigma is enemies with Peppy, and he'll always be on Peppy, and like Andrew's always on Slippy, I think, and Star Wolf is always on you. So generally they'll kind of stick to attacking whoever they're attacking. Then if you hit them, they'll do like a flip, but then they'll keep pursuing. So you can use that just to like really know where they're going to be going.
Mm-hmm. We got to Andros, and as far as I know, the first part of the Andros fight is exactly the same. So we just kind of blew through that, but then you see the brains and the eyes.
Only I have the brains to rule this galaxy.
Okay, Dad.
I did that.
I had some cool strats for this, but I want to hear what you guys did.
How about you, Alamaxia?
For this one, I just tried to get right behind the eyes, using the turn and brake. But once his eyes go away and, it's just you and the brain, you have to shoot this lobe in the back of his head. And as you hit it more and more, then he'll start tailing you, and his AI gets, really good at tailing you. So what I was doing is trying to boost away like 2 or 3 times as quick as I could, get some distance, and then get a good U-turn and try to hit his lobe a few times. And that's how I've always really done this. And then Wiz tuned me into a strategy he took that when I was playing through it again earlier today, I tried that and I was like, wow, that is a lot easier.
Yeah, so it's tricky. So you can do the loop, but the brain is very big. So if you don't time it correctly, you'll do the loop and run into it. But what I found is, so if you look at the mini map, the big brain is like this big yellow square, and then your ship is like a little triangle. And if you let the yellow square intersect the triangle about halfway and then do the loop, that is a pretty reliable way to get right behind it. Then you can slow boost and turn and start just pegging it from behind.
Now,
that worked for me.
That's cool.
If you do run into him, he has all these little tentacly things. I guess his nervous system under him. They'll grab you and like nom away about a third of your shield. It
flashbacks from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Oh, wow.
All right, and then as you blow up the brain, Fox goes, ah, and the screen goes white. Oh, and it's game over. Or is it?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you hear like a voice in your head? And his name
Obi-Wan.
is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, man. Yeah, James McCloud, Fox's dad, who's dead, comes and saves you by leading you through this, the exploding kind of Death Star like vents as you're getting out of the place as it's exploding.
And you got to speed up. If you don't, because it's kind of a maze, and if you don't keep up with him, you'll end up perishing. And he says never give up.
And you did it right there, probably the most stressful way, where you have both your wings broken, so your navigation's all
I have,
off.
Like, no life.
Yeah.
Sliver of health.
Yeah.
But I like that because as you exit, you see just one ship. So that's kind of sad, right? Because 2 ships exit, but when you actually come to it, it's just you. And so you realize that,
and Fox is here looking around like, where's Dad?
See, he's actually just looking for Slippy because he's like, Slippy.
He's like, did we get him?
Did we get him? He dead.
But yeah, man, what a fun time. I really enjoyed my time in this game. I'm going to go through, I think, some of the other... There's a couple other... I wouldn't call them inconsequential, but things that aren't new levels or whatever, like variants to how you complete some of the levels. Like, again, if allowing maybe the mothership to blow up the building and that what. So, that's Star Fox 64. And, as always, we got a little Patreon screen. Thanking all the Patreons. And we did get a new Patreon this week. We want to give a special shout out to Tinsnip. Thank you for joining us here in the Saturday morning gaming show. There's one step closer to our goal here of 25 supporters. And if you remember, we talked about we're 9 episodes away from episode 50, and we're also 9 Patreon supporters away from 25. So there's, you do the math there.
9 and 9, yeah.
We could be doing Earthbound for episode 50, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see. So, gosh, what a cool game! Rumble Pack must have, in my opinion. I'm curious. Have you guys played any of the later Star Foxes?
I have not personally.
I played the one that came out for the Wii U. There was like a 2-pack that came out, and the one of the sides of it is basically the same game, kind of like Super Nintendo to N64 is like the same game, but with a few other neat things. And this one was the same game, but with a few more neat things.
Yeah,
like there was a little mech that I think would run around that you could go and shoot things with. But it was okay. This one is by far my favorite. This one is timeless. It plays smooth. The dogfights are tight. They're fun, and it increases in difficulty really well on the hard path.
Yep. And then I guess you mentioned Alamaxia is actually a hard mode also.
Yes, there is an expert mode. So if you can metal absolutely everything, then you do hard mode where enemies have more health and you take, I think, like double damage. It does get really brutal, especially when you get to that hard path on Venom and you have to fight Starwolf. That is very difficult. But we didn't talk
Not
about
if you don't take damage, so.
But a few other things happen if you get all the medals. One of them is you unlock the ability to have like your actual little pilot run around in multiplayer. So you have like your actual pilot running around. He has this big bazooka while someone else can be in an R-Wing or a Landmaster. So the multiplayer was really fun. Just battling your friends in an all-range mode dogfight in whatever, vehicle you wanted to use, except for the Blue Marine, which is horrible. No, but
Wait, so you're saying
another
you
thing
could be in
is
space.
Do what?
You could be in space with a bazooka, or are you talking about...
They're all planet fights, I think.
Oh, they're all planet.
Yeah. But I wanted to say, if you meddled in all the hard mode levels, then Fox would get James McCloud sunglasses.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Man. Yeah, I was going to say, the ending to this, I remember just so fondly in my heart. And the music's done by Koji Kondo, so it's just like such a good soundtrack. And this ending every time just like brings a tear to my eye when they're like running, and it really like it does this orchestral like swell at the end, and you're like I don't know, nostalgia, man.
Yeah, because the guy's like, hey, you guys should come be our Air Force, and they're like, nah. I don't remember exactly what they say, but they're like, nah, we like it better this way. Yeah. And they're actually, I think Alamaxie said they're actually trying to leave Slippy behind. That's why they're
they spent too long at the Chili's restaurant at the airport terminal. Now they're just booking it to try to make it.
Yeah, I always like that Slippy falls behind there.
He is falling behind there.
Yeah, he does.
Just someone kick him or something.
Man!
Alas,
all right, so they didn't make it. Gray Fox took off without them. Oh, shame.
The end.
Yeah, and then we'll give them a bill here, and I think Alamaxie said that they like say different things if you have more kills. Do you remember like what the best rank is there that you got?
The best one, I think you have to get at least 1,100 kills, and he'll go, "What? Like this is such a huge bill." But if it's like you did really good, he'll be like, "This is one steep bill, but it's worth it."
So I think that's the one I got. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Well, that is Star Fox. Great game to pick up. Highly recommend it. If you have the ability to get a Rumble Pack in there, even better.
It really is.
Plop that in, couple AAA batteries, and just put it on your knee or something, and let it rattle or your pains away or something like that.
So
great.
So what game are we going to raid next?
Oh, you kind of already spoiled it. You said raid.
Did I? Uh-oh.
No, it's not a spoiler. So we're going to check out Tomb Raider on the PC. This was a game that I've played the demo of, multiple demos of, but I've never actually completed. And I remember there, being a lot of puzzles, a lot of alligators also, and also being very inspirational for on the Uncharted series. So I don't know, Lobos, have you ever played Tomb Raider?
I definitely remember playing Tomb Raider at my buddy's house with keyboard on his whatever,
We'll see how that works out. Yeah. So I expect the controls to be a little janky, but
I only ever played Tomb Raider through the demo. So I've never actually gone into the game. So this is going to be it'll be neat. If I can make this next one. I got a busy month. I hope I can make it.
Yeah, was it the PC Gamer demo disc by chance? Because I remember I used to get
sounds about right.
Probably
the PC Gamer demo discs. Yeah,
I love those demo discs.
Or like one from Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah.
Cool. One of these days, I want to make like a game that is actually just demo discs. So it's like literally. You just like you put it on, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is like a demo disc you would have got in the 90s. There's just like 5 or 6 different little games in there.
It's like mini games or something.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of
awesome.
Cool. Well, wanted to, again, go back to our Patreon supporters and really give a special shout out to everyone there for helping make this and all episodes possible. If you like what you see and like to help support us, you can head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Gaming Show to learn more. And again, really wanted to thank everyone for listening to us here on the podcast or watching us on YouTube. And there you can see the footage that we're watching, backdrop with our cool little retro room we've got here, and all of our beautiful faces.
Or if you just prefer to give it a listen, you can go to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or just go to our website, SaturdayMorningGamingShow.com, and you can just listen to it right in the browser.
And if you have any feedback, you can fill out the contact form on SaturdayMorningGamingShow.com, or you can toss us an email, SaturdayMorningGamingShow@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's great. And hey, while you're talking about feedback, why not give us a rating? If you have a platform that allows you to rate us, please do so. Maybe a thumbs up, a couple stars, maybe you just shoot us a message that says, hey, you guys are doing great. And but we did also want to give a special shout out to TechnoAxe for much of the music on this episode.
For Saturday Morning Gaming, I'm Alamaxia.
And I'm Lobos.
And I'm the Fat Wizard. We'll see you in May with Tomb Raider on the PC.
Bye-bye.